Aloha e moa pono. It's Mary's first day. She has a question.
Sometimes I walk at night and try to walk facing traffic. My balance is not that great, so I'm easily knocked off balance, and I'm afraid that somebody's going to steal my handbag.
Okay, very good. So we actually have 3 pieces to her question that are all worth addressing. So the first one is, walking along at night, you want to first pick a route that you know very well, and you want to make sure that your loved ones know that route, so that if you're gone too long, everyone knows right away and they know where to look. So you want to know the route, and you want to inform people that care about you what that route is. You want to make sure, as she mentioned, which was good, that she is facing traffic so you can see vehicles coming at you. You also want to acknowledge people coming at you. And what I mean by this is proactive acknowledgement of someone is way better than reactive. And what I mean is, if I'm walking toward you and I'm like, good evening, or nod, and just make eye contact, then they know that you see them and you acknowledge them, and now there's no element of surprise if their intentions are not the best. A second thing is give a wide berth. So back in the day, there used to be this thing called common courtesy, which is no longer so common. And so what we want to do is we give a wide berth. Anytime I'm walking or running myself and I see people coming up, I give them the sidewalk. I will on purpose go on the grass patch or even on the other side depending on the terrain. And I will actually say it out loud. Oh, there's 3 of you, there's 1 of me. And they'll appreciate it. So I'm being courteous proactively, and then if they have bad intentions, they have no reason to choose me as a victim. Does that make sense? So you're proactive and assertive and friendly. Just like Boy Scouts, right? Courteous and kind. A little bit of courtesy goes a long way, especially if you're the one that initiates it. And you give a wide berth, so there's lots of space between you and anybody that's walking toward you. Also, because you might not be the fastest person on the planet, this is also something to be aware of when someone's behind you. So if I'm walking and I'm a big guy, so I might not be the fastest guy on the road, and I hear the steps, I'll address it and I'll do the same thing. I'll get out of their way and let them go by, and I'll acknowledge them. And that way, again, you're being proactive and you're keeping in control.
Sorry to slow you up. Go ahead.
Yes, very good. Okay, so you're proactive, you're friendly, you're courteous. That averts a lot of problems ahead of time. Now, the second thing she mentioned was balance. And the thing is, we have 3 principles that we always go by. Even when we're learning how to fall, it's awareness, balance, and control. This is also true for self-defense. So the first one, her first question, that's awareness. Seeing people coming, sensing people coming behind you, and being proactively resolute to solve the problem, okay? Second is balance. She mentioned her balance is not the greatest. Now, even if you don't actually need it, a good tool to address balance is to have a cane or a walking stick. Why? Because it doesn't matter if it's an Irish shillelagh or an actual cane. If you have something in your hand when you walk, not only is it an aid to your balance, but it also is a preemptive control tool for distance management. What do I mean by that? So let's say I have the Irish shillelagh here, and you're coming at me, and I'm like, I don't come any closer now. For those of you that might have gone to boot camp, this is just like holding a rifle and doing bayonet drills, all right? And I can use my leg to engage it quickly, right? And there's all sorts of other things you can do. Regular cane as well, doesn't matter. I can even cover a lot of distance with this. You can use it like a saber on point, so that if you practice this, and if you look at some of the trees across the street from my house, they have little holes in them. That's because back in the day, the cane was a big weapon in Hapkido, one of the martial arts I studied. And so I would just practice kicking my cane up and hitting an exact point. And then I got to the point where I would put a Kennedy $50 with gum on the tree, and I'd hit that point every time. Then I went to a quarter, then I went to a nickel, then I went to a dime, so that You train hard enough that you don't know how to miss. And once you don't know how to miss, you don't even have to think about it. You just grab and go. So if you have a walking stick or cane, then not only is your balance better, but your ability to control distance is better. So that is going to be A, B, and C, awareness, balance, and control. Now finally she mentioned the back. So we'll address that. I'm pretty sure Mary doesn't lug around a ruck as big as this. But if she did, this is the issue, right? Someone comes in front and they grab this to pull it off your shoulder, okay? My first solution to this is not to carry it that way. So it's much more secure if you actually have it on backwards, or my personal preference, sling it. If it's like this, it's extremely difficult to take this off of me.
Okay.
So this is the third part of her question, what to do if someone does this. Now, because this strap is adjustable, it would be not so difficult for her just to lengthen it. And are you right-handed?
I'm right here.
Then put your right hand through. And that way, her strong arm is in total control of the bag. It'd be very difficult for me to move it off of her, right? And yes, her bag is much more petite than what I was carrying. And if I have my bag slung, and I have me shillelagh, double trouble! So that's a quick overview of 3 things that you can do for Mary's 3-part question addressing awareness, balance, and control.